productivity in service delivery. I want to repeat that section, that in accordance with Section 47 of the County Government Act and Section 126 of the PFM Act, we are currently evaluating the performance of both the County Executive Committee members and the chief officers, and the findings will inform further appropriate changes and actions that are intended to ensure efficiency and productivity in service delivery. Further, I have accepted the resignation of the following two County Executive Committee members. One, Engineer Dris Kibet Rono, the CCM in charge of transport and infrastructure, and two, Ms. Ruth Koech, the ECCM in charge of health and sanitation. The leadership of the county appreciates the exceptional leadership and dedication of Engineer Dris Rono as the CCM in charge of transport and infrastructure. His efforts and innovative approach have significantly improved the county's transport and infrastructure sector. Engineer Dris also served as the chairperson of the caucus of CCMs in charge of transport and infrastructure at the COG. So Dris Rono was already serving as chairman of CCM's caucus in Kenya, and we appreciate the work that he has done for the period that he has served us as CEC in charge of transport in Nandi County. Again, I want to take this opportunity to recognize and appreciate the invaluable contribution of Ruth Koech, the CCM in charge of health and sanitation. Unwavering dedication and exemplary leadership has been instrumental in advancing health services in our county. Since assuming office in 2017, she has successfully spearheaded numerous initiatives aimed at improving healthcare service delivery, including successful implementation of programs and initiatives that have made several key achievements, including social health insurance scheme program in Nandi County, improving healthcare infrastructure, championing community health promoters, advancing universal healthcare, among others. It's also important to note that Ruth served as the vice chairperson of the Health and Sanitation Caucus at the COG. So she was also, just like Dris, serving at the national level as the chairperson, as the vice chairperson of the caucus. Pursuant to Article 179(2)(b) of the Constitution of Kenya, I have forwarded the names of the following three persons to the County Assembly for approval to the positions of County Executive Committee members. One, Dr. Viola Cherotich Chemogos, nominee for CCM in charge of health and sanitation. Dr. Chemogos is 40 years old. She is a certified pharmacist and holds a bachelor's degree of pharmacy, a diploma in pharmacy, a senior management course at the Kenya School of Government. She is a member of the Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya, Hospital Pharmacists Association of Kenya, and the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union. She has 16 years of experience working in the health sector. She is currently working as a clinical pharmacist at Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, the Shoe for Africa facility. Number two, Ms. Renee Chepkosgei Kirwa, nominee for CCM in charge of education and vocational training. Ms. Kirwa is 45 years old. She holds a bachelor's degree of education in early childhood and primary education from Egerton University. She has over 13 years worked. She has worked for over 13 years as a tutor at Baraton Teachers Training College. But currently, she is serving as an ECD teacher at Kabiyet Township. Currently, she is in class teaching as an ECD teacher. She comes in as the CCM in charge of education. Number 3, Engineer Robert Kipchirchir Limo, nominee for CCM in charge of transport and infrastructure. Engineer Limo is 40 years old and as a certified and registered graduate engineer. He holds a Bachelor's of Science degree in mechanical engineering and currently pursuing an MBA in strategic management and technology. He has previously worked in the Department of Defense, Army Aviation, as an engineer, Baobab Beach Hotel and Resort as a chief engineer in charge of designs, Green County Construction Limited as a technical director, and currently also works at serves at the Lake Basin Development Authority as a director. So we have given those 3 names to the County Assembly for processing and approval to serve as CCMs. So those are the changes that we have made, and I have one other statement to give, and this is a brief on the status of the human resource recruitment. The County Public Service Board is currently undertaking a human resource recruitment for the various departments with 3 adverts placed so far. In the first advert, which closed on 26th of October 2024, a total of 3,054 applicants were received against 245 vacancies that were declared. For the second advert, which closed on 13th of November 2024, a total of 593 positions were advertised, and it attracted a total number of applicants of 5,433. The third advert for 546 vacancies closed. The number of applicants received is estimated 5,000. This recruitment is part of the county's commitment to enhancing its workforce, improving service delivery to the residents through an open and transparent recruitment process. The board also carried out staff headcount across all the departments in a bid to plan and allocate resources effectively based on the number of staff, inform the budgeting and the payroll management, with compliance to reporting, workforce planning, operational efficiency, and it's currently in its tail end of preparing the report of the exercise. The board is currently effecting promotion of staff of different cadres serving in the Department of Health and Sanitation, and the promotions have been structured in a way that ensures fairness, transparency, and in alignment with the departmental goals in the provision of universal health care in the county. So far, a total of 42 promotion letters have been issued, and the rest are going to be released in due course. So those were the 2 statements that I wanted to share, unless we have unless we have one or two questions. Those statements are
maybe.
And of course, we also appreciate that the provision of service delivery, courtesy of the human resource exercise and the discussions that we had with our staff, has been smooth. We want to appreciate. A number of them are supporting, working, volunteering. Others are, we have stretched the capacity of the staff that are around the county to cover even as we conclude the process of the recruitment. I also want to indicate that we have agreed with the board that they will expedite that process so that the staff who are supposed to be recruited and can be able to join in as soon as possible to join the rest of the staff who are already giving services to our Nandi. And maybe a final comment is to ask the County Assembly of Nandi to prioritize and fast-track the approval of the names of the members of the County Public Service Board that we have already forwarded to the County Assembly about a month ago. Once they are able to approve, we have 2 members of the board, the secretary and the chairperson of the County Public Service Board. We are hoping that they can be able to fast-track that those considerations so that we can be able to have another opportunity, a fully constituted board, because as you can look, there is a lot of work. If one advert of 245 vacancies can be able to attract over 3,000 applicants, one for 500 has attracted over 5,000 applicants. That work is immense, and therefore we need the entire team within the board to be available to finalize the process. And therefore I ask the County Assembly to expedite that process.
I have a question.
Yes.
One, could these changes could have been informed by the current happenings? We know there was a process that was happening in the County Assembly. Are the changes informed by that process that, as we know, ended in the manner that it ended? Number 2, we know that the County Assembly right now adjourned or was suspended indefinitely until a time that the Speaker feels now safe to operate in that building. Do you think this also will prolong the consideration of your nominees? And finally, also there was a process of HR audit a while ago, and on 2 occasions we asked you whether that report had been made public, the public service human resource audit, whether it was transmitted, and we made a follow-up with the County Assembly and they said they've never seen that document. The public is asking because they want to see whatever you're implementing, they also counter-check on design because it's a public process. So are you confirming today that that document has been sent to the County Assembly as promised in the last address?
So 3 things. One, the process of evaluating the performance of CCMs and the county executive is a continuous process. But also the contribution of the County Assembly is critical because the County Assembly plays an oversight role. And when the County Assembly plays their oversight role and we evaluate based on performance contract, in fact, every year or every financial year, CCMs together with the chief officers sign performance contracts. And at the end of the financial year, you sit down to evaluate the performance contract on the basis of the implementation of the programs. So whatever changes that we have undertaken, first, the resignation of the 2 CCMs, they have resigned on their own volition. Secondly, we have made it clear that we are currently reviewing the performance of CCMs and the chief officers. And I have indicated here that we will make appropriate changes on the basis of the findings and the outcomes. So really, this is on the basis of performance review, but also on the basis that we are a political government. We also listen to the public and we listen to the issues being raised by Wananchi on the areas that require improvement, And therefore, a decision of this nature is a decision that is made on the basis of a composite of reasons. But I think in a short while, once we conclude the review, we will be able to communicate our findings with regard to chief officers and with regard to the other remaining positions under CCMs. So that is a normal exercise. Of course, we know what happened in the assembly. Everybody, is aware of what happened in the assembly and the process that ended. When the assembly reconvenes, and we think that this is also urgent business for the assembly, I am sure that the calendar of the assembly will be reviewed, and it will be made open, and they will open and proceed to consider this. Secondly, on human resource report, as indicated that the process of implementing the findings of the human resource audit is ongoing. That human resource audit has two components. It has a component in terms of a document that is meant for the public, which is a simplified version and a shorter version of it, which it was part of the documents that was presented to the assembly when members of the executive, and particularly the Department of Administration, together with the Public Service Board, when they appeared before the assembly, they subjected all those documents to the assembly. So the assembly cannot say they don't have. Those documents are within the assembly. They were part and parcel of the bundle of documents that were requested by the assembly, and they were forwarded, and they are available at the assembly. And the third question that you addressed was, I think we covered, isn't it?
Maybe that's the question, Governor.
Yes.
You're on record promising Nandi about the performance, and we've seen, even during the Hadro Committee report, while they were being tabled at the assembly, there were a lot of misinformation that they were going to impeach you. The public knew that what was happening at the assembly was the invitation of Governor Stephen Sang. But in real sense, it was about the Hadro Committee report, which had been actually established to investigate a number of issues in Nandi County. In 2 minutes, what can you tell that particular resident of Nandi in terms of maybe getting back the confidence that they had in you, and like what they know that they were just to impeach you? In 2 minutes, what can you say about the same?
We live in a political society, so some of those statements are political, and everybody is allowed to play politics. I have seen even senior politicians, including our senator, misinforming the public. I mean, of course, we were in a process. Initially, the assembly was engaged in a process to look at the performance, evaluation of projects, and implementation of the programs of government. That process started well. It ended up being a political exercise. The exercise was infiltrated by external political forces and machinations. It ended up developing a report that clearly is a political report rather than a useful document for purposes of evaluating the performances of the county. Even and therefore, and once those political machinations come in, the members of the county assembly who realized that there was politics in it rejected the political report. And we also know that when the team that was supporting the political report realized that they had lost, they caused chaos. We hope that the process in the assembly, through the county the county assembly service board and the team, will be able to investigate, because that was an embarrassment for our county. We are a county that is governed by law. Democracy is allowed. When you go to an assembly and a matter is subjected to a vote, you either win or lose. That was not the first vote. There was a vote to establish the Hadro Committee. Those who did not support it lost. Those who supported it won, and the assembly proceeded. On this particular one, on the report, those who are supporting the report should have allowed the process of democracy to thrive. But what we saw was unfortunate, And we hope that that never forms part of the history of our county. And secondly, I want to urge the political operatives who have interest or vested interest in Nandi, that we are a government that operates within the precincts of the law. When the time comes to play politics, you know Sang knows how to play politics. We are at this point engaged in development agenda. Those trying to bring politics should keep that intention to the time when we will be required to play politics. And I do, and I am good. That is my area. We are all politicians. We can play those politics. But for now, it is time to develop and deliver services and development to our people. And finally, if you want to impeach a governor, it is a constitutional legal process. Get your numbers, do whatever you have to do, bring it to the assembly. In Nandi County, if you have to impeach Governor Sang, you need 30 members of the county assembly. When we sat down, or 29, when we sat down and on this report and everything, they are clear. They should know that those numbers are not there. People of Nandi are not interested in those kind of, if you go to Meru today and go to other areas where impeachments have been done, nothing is done. No development goes on. It becomes a whole nonsense that is not useful to anybody. Let us deliver. Let us push. I want to be corrected, to be oversighted and pushed to do the job. I will commit to continue doing my job, and we want the MCAs to play their role, absolutely independent of any political machinations. Some of those ones who are part of the committee have actually reached out to me and told me the kind of forces, the kind of money that was given, the kind of facilitation, including being given legal assistance from outsiders, people who are not members of the county assembly, being provided with security, being provided with money to try and, create a situation in Nandi County that is not useful. So we want to tell those political forces, please leave Nandi alone. Allow us to do what we have to do. We have a job to do for our people. You have your politics to play. You have your jobs to handle out there. Allow Nandi County to run and take charge of what needs to be done in Nandi County.
Maybe last, Your Excellency, I'm asking about the audit.
Yeah.
Head count.
Yes.
What were the findings? How many staffs are there?
But as I indicated, the Public Service Board is working on the report, so that is still work in progress. Asanteni sana.
Kill